Hello everyone and welcome to Live at 12:45. I'm Kristen Bomas and today we're going to talk about, is it easier to love or to be loved? And I'm sure that most people are going to agree that it's easier to love than to genuinely allow yourself to be loved. So why might that be? Well, it's interesting how afraid we are to let someone in to truly love us and to accept us for who we are. And part of that comes because we don't really know how to love and accept ourselves. So what we do is we turn that inside out. And so most people, of course, are going to love with greater ease. At least they think they will. So we're going to talk about both sides of that today. What is that about for you? And how does that feel inside? Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. So even though we think it might be easier to love, the question becomes, are we really sharing our love? How do we share the energy of our heart out if we're closing it to the energy of love coming in? That block, whatever it may be, is going to create some sort of a hesitation or a skew, if you will, to the love either way. And yet the illusion is that it's much easier to love others than to allow others to love us. Let's break that down a little bit further. Sometimes we think it's easier to love others because we like to do things for others. We like to be there for others. We like to listen to others, which is another form of doing something, right? So when we're constantly in that state of doing for others and giving to others and in that showing our love for others, we're not actually opening our heart, right? In the same way we would if we were just loving, right? Feel that. If I'm opening my heart because I'm loving of you, aren't I letting you in at this moment? Yes. So if I'm loving you right now, then isn't it easier for you to love me back, right? So we don't get that when we're sitting in that experience of it's easier to love. I don't know how to let others love me. If I don't know how to let others love me, it's because I don't know how to love me. And if I don't know how to love me, then I don't know what that feels like inside to identify when the love is coming in this direction. Does that make sense? See if I can do that again in a little different way to make sure it makes sense to everyone out there. If I genuinely love the company I keep and I enjoy my time with myself, sorry, comedy is happening in the office today. If I am genuinely enjoying myself and I know what it is I wish to do, so I'm enjoying reading a book, or I'm sitting here laughing at myself, or I'm enjoying doing whatever I'm doing, I'm getting joy with myself. So that's an enjoyment of myself. And so then if I think about who I am and what it is I love about myself, then I can actually love who I am. Now, that love for myself may come with some limitation. Maybe I have fear of this or fear of that, and those are limitations, but I'm learning to send that love inward. So I work with people all the time who are in love with another person, and they want to be with that other person, and that other person is so important. It's that other person, right? But is that love or is that attachment? More often than not, it's attachment, because that's the very same person who's looking outward and loving this person can't stop and be without that person, because it's in those alone times that they feel very absent of love. So we know that when they love outward, it's more of an attachment to having someone in their life for fear of not being loved than really opening their heart to love that must flow both ways. Everything in life is a circle. If I love you, that love is going to come back to me. May not come back from you. You may not love me. That's okay. But if I love you, love is going to come back. So if it's kind of like the pitcher on the mound. I know, right in the middle of the World Series here. The pitcher throws the ball to the catcher. He's the thrower. The catcher is the receiver. But then the pitcher stands up and throws the baseball back to the pitcher, and he becomes the thrower, and the pitcher becomes the receiver. So everything in life is a circle like that. Now, it may not be so direct that I love you and then you love me. I may love you, and then that love comes back to me from another source. But if I'm not letting it come back to me, I'm stopping the circle. If I'm stopping that circle, am I loving you, or am I attached to you for some reason? It's an important question to ask, because we want our heart to open up. We want to feel loved. We want to feel understood. And it's not that we want to be loved because I say I love you. We want to know that the person who says that to us knows us and cares to know us for who we are. So we go back. Well, how would it be easier to love with all of our heart if we're afraid to let people know what that heart is? So again, the question, is it easier to love or to be loved, is really not a trick question. And yet, it feels as if it is. Parents tell me, oh, it's so easy to love my children. Pet owners, it's so easy to love my animals. But why? Because they perceive an unconditional love in return. They perceive an acceptance in return. Whether that's coming from their pets or whether that's coming from their children, they perceive that love being returned in some way, and that's what makes it so easy to love those children or animals outward. So again, we come back again. Where is this flowing for each individual? Is it in the loving, or is it in the receiving? It's in both parts. That circle must be complete. And so even if it's in your perception of that animal or child loving you back, you're allowing your heart to open in some way. So I want you to really understand, love is a part of your truth. It's a part of who you are. We are of the energy of love in our pure essence of self. And so when we open our self to another, we are opening our love to another. And at that point, as we open ourselves, not only are we loving in some way, but we are allowing love to then return, because our heart is open, and our heart will always receive love. If you're having a hard time receiving love, it's because of your own judgments inside. Those are the places inside, ouch, as Tina says, where we're judging ourselves as not worthy of love. Those are the places where maybe you're not loving yourself. Maybe you're still judging yourself. And if you're judging yourself, then those are the places where you don't understand how someone else can still love you. That's where your defenses come up. That's where we skew the love that we are receiving and that we're seeing. And so it is the illusion that it's easier to love than to be loved, because both are flip sides of the same coin. So I offer to you all the opportunity to think about your heart. Is it opening? Is it opening completely? Maybe not. That's okay. But where is it not open? Where's the hesitation? Where's the block? Where's the shaded area? Open your heart, because it's to open that you receive, and it is absolutely has to open to give. It's the same thing. I wish you all an opportunity to feel the love that others are offering you, as you feel the love that you are offering others. Have a wonderful day. Please remember to join me on my YouTube station for my podcasts. That's Kristen Bomas on YouTube. And to know that I'm going to be here Monday live at 12:45. We're going to be talking with Claudia Barrington about thermography and closing out this Breast Health Month with a look at the healthiest way to early detect any irregular cell growth in your breast tissue. So thank you very much for joining me. I greatly appreciate your support and your interaction. Hello, everybody, and goodbye.